Welcome to episode 1 of the APDA Videocast Series. This video will familiarize you with a variety of weight pulling equipment. Whether you plan to compete or just want your dog to help out around your home, you will need to have some equipment. The single most important piece of equipment you must have is your dog's weight pull harness. The foundation of a well-made weight pull harness is strong webbing with reinforced stitching of heavy-duty thread at all seams. The neck and shoulder areas will be well padded, and the back will be designed to keep the harness properly set onto your dog's body. At the rear of the harness is a spreader bar and a strong metal ring, which is the pulling attachment point. Here is another look at our sample harness. The collar and breastplate are well padded to protect your dog's neck, chest, and shoulders as he pulls. The crossed webbing on the top of the harness does not bear a weight load. Instead, it rests on your dog's back, helping to keep the harness square and level as they pull. Every attachment point on the harness should be flat and reinforced with heavy-duty stitching. This strong wooden dowel is what clearly identifies this as a freight or weight pull harness. As your dog pulls, the spreader bar keeps the harness well away from your dog's hind legs, ensuring free and unobstructed movement. At the very end of the harness is an O or D ring. Firmly secured to the center of the webbing, it is the attachment point for the weight the dog will be pulling. Now let's take a look at how to put the harness on. Slip your hand through the collar of the harness at the front and pull the spreader bar over your forearm, resting it on your elbow. It may help to gently hold your dog's muzzle as you slide the harness over your hand and onto your dog's neck and body. If your dog is wearing a collar or leash, be sure they are not caught under the harness. With the harness over your dog's back, gently pull each front leg through the leg holes. A properly fitted harness will lay smoothly over your dog's body and be parallel to the ground. And remember to inspect your dog's harness for wear and tear before every use. You don't want it to fail during a pulling session. To remove the harness, just reverse your steps. Lift your dog's front legs one at a time back through the leg holes of the harness. Grasp the spreader bar and lift the harness over your dog's head. The collar of the harness will likely fit snugly, so be careful as you pull the collar off your dog. Good boy, James. We've shown you the elements of a good weight pull harness. There are some variations in design from different harness makers, most noticeably rolled padding on the collar and breastplate. There is no one perfect design to fit every single dog. What is important is that the harness you use fits well. Remember, there's no substitute for a properly fitted freight or weight pull harness. If you try to use any other type of harness for weight pulling, you risk injury to your dog. Now that we've covered the merits of a good freight or weight pull harness, let's talk about some other equipment. If you enter an APDA competition, your dog will be pulling a heavy-duty wheeled cart capable of handling up to 4,000 pounds of weight. At the front end of the cart is a bridle, usually made of sturdy rope, and a steel carabiner or similar heavy-duty hook that will be used to attach the cart to your dog's harness. The hook will slide freely along the bridle to ensure your dog can pull steadily and evenly. Whether pulling in a competition or training at home, your dog will need some weight to pull. Commonly used weights in competitions include cinder blocks, bags of food or sand, or any other consistently weighted and safely stackable material. You've invested in a good harness, your dog is healthy, you're ready to hook up and start pulling. But let's face it, not many of us have a wheeled cart and thousands of pounds of cinder blocks sitting around the yard. So let's look at some alternatives. This is one example of a drag sled. It is compact, the center rod holds weight securely on the sled, and the runner design will drag well across grass, dirt, sand, or packed snow. Sleds like this can be purchased, or you can make one yourself if you're handy. If you live in a snowy area, there's an even simpler option: the snow sled. It's light, portable, easy to store, and widely available. And it works just as well on grass or dirt as it does on snow. Simply attach a strong bridle rope securely to the sled, add a carabiner, making sure it can slide freely from side to side, and you now have an effective training tool to use around home. The large surface area on the bottom of the sled adds resistance and drag, which helps with your dog's conditioning. As for the weight to use on your sled, almost anything will do. Adding dirt or snow is a quick and easy way to increase drag weight. Many people use heavy chains attached directly to the dog's harness for training. Adding length to the chain increases both weight and resistance. And here's another option: tire dragging. If you use more than one tire, make sure they are all securely attached. Instead of throwing away those gallon milk jugs, fill them with water and use those on your dog's drag sled. Or put a rope through the handles and attach them directly to your dog's harness with a carabiner or other strong removable clip. Almost anything that can be safely and securely attached to your dog's weight pull harness can be used for resistance training and conditioning. Whatever you use, though, remember, keep your dog's health and safety your top priority. If you are using a wheeled cart or anything that might roll or slide into your dog as he stops pulling, you should always have a second person at the back of the cart who can stop its forward motion. This has been just a brief overview of some of the equipment needed for introducing your dog to the sport of weight pulling. We want to remind you to keep your dog's health and safety foremost in your mind. Although we gladly provide basic instruction for this sport in our videos, there is no substitute for working with an experienced trainer or weight puller.